I've asked the Chief of Staff to write to all government appointees that I have imposed a ban on non-essential travel forthwith to cut down expenditure. Any travel that is deemed essential and necessary must be cleared first with the Office of the Chief of Staff.
Hello guys, this is Jibril on Authentic Plus TV. Kindly subscribe to the channel if today happens to be your first time. Like, share, and then let's discuss in the comment section. You know, like I indicated in the previous video, Ghana is working again. The current president is really bent on ensuring that Ghana gets the glory that it deserves. And for this reason, he's put, in place certain measures to ensure that government spending is brought down to the barest minimum. First of all, he told all his appointees that all the ministers that nobody is going to travel outside the country in a first class section of an aircraft. So no first class for them, nobody. You want to travel outside, you have to get clearance from the Chief of Staff. So it means those that have been moving up and down, going to celebrate their birthdays out, taking their girlfriends here and there, all of them, you have ended it. It means you would do a meaningful travel outside the country. I mean, job specific, mission specific. No more playing games. That is what is happening.
I must, however, remind you of the same caution I sounded to your colleagues who have already taken office, that the hallmark of this government will be modesty and respect for the Ghanaian people. There will be no room for arrogance and pomposity in this government. The resources that you'll be working with belong to the Ghanaian people who put us in office. Those resources are not to be wasted on opulence and extravagance. I've asked the Chief of Staff to write to all government appointees that I have imposed a ban on non-essential travel forthwith to cut down expenditure. Any travel that is deemed essential and necessary must be cleared first with the Office of the Chief of Staff. And such travels will have to be undertaken in modesty, no first class.
And then, the independence celebration, every year on 6th of March, there's a celebration which see a massive gathering of people at the Independence Square. But the previous administration, decided to rotate the celebration, moving it to different regions of the country. And then this government has realized that there's so much cost in relation to that. And for that reason, he is trying to cut costs. Therefore, last year's celebration had, the government spending over 16 million Ghana cedis. And this time, they are saying no. Enough of those unwanted expenses when Ghana needs enough money to work on itself to be able to get to areas where development are seriously needed. There's not going to be any extravagance spending by government again.
Mahama has asked that rotational policy be suspended because of the need to scale down. And this has become necessary due to escalating costs. It has been discovered after some review that the rotation imposed additional costs. And therefore, at a time when our national budget is severely constrained due to economic difficulties, it was not going to be sustainable to keep rotating the national celebrations. Indeed, if I were to put figures on how much it costs to hold these celebrations, you will find that depending on where the celebrations are sent, there is significant cost implications. For instance, the last celebrations that were held in Ho cost the country a staggering 15 million Ghana cedis. And every time that it has been sent to a different regional capital, apart from Accra, we've had to bear such costs. in the spirit of cutting down on government expenditure, on non-essential expenditure, President Mahama has instructed that this rotational policy be suspended. In addition to this, the main celebrations, which ordinarily would have taken place in Accra at the Independence Square, has also become the subject of some rollback. President Mahama believes that, yes, there is much to celebrate over Ghana's independence. It is perhaps the most significant happening in our entire history as a country. And he acknowledges the need to celebrate this in a manner that befits our status as an independent country. Nonetheless, he is also minded by the parlous state of the economy and the various competing needs, and the fact that there are critical sectors of our national life that do not receive adequate or anything near to adequate funding. He believes that at this moment in time, there is a need to reprioritize government expenditure. And one of the areas where savings can be made is this independence celebration. He believes that it is entirely possible to hold modest but significant events to mark this important occasion without breaking the national peace. I am going to announce a series of activities which will be held at the presidency, or if you like, Jubilee House, as it is now called.
And then you see the president himself, the previous administration, the president Akufo-Addo was not using the, allocated or the purchased private jet for use of a president. And funny thing is that we heard a complaint. That the spacing, his footing where he needs to relax his legs, there's no so much space for him to feel free. And for that matter, that was not the reason why he was not using it. And that the aircraft was faulty. But this president came, and within some few weeks, he's using that aircraft. Instead of renting an expensive aircraft, he's resorted to using Ghana's own aircraft, which is useful. It has been cleared by the aviation people that it's useful. It is not deteriorated. It's in a good shape. And for that matter, they have put it to the use of the presidency. Again, he's cut down the ministers of state, which was a promise he made to the people of Ghana, that is going to reduce his ministers to 60. The previous administration had a whopping 127 ministers of state. But this president said, no, that is too much spending. There's so much pressure on the public purse. And for that matter, it's reduced from 127 to 60. And then he's also cut down the number of presidential staffers. So, truly, it means that this president that we have means business. He needs all the support, and then he's working to ensure that Ghana develops, Ghana rise, and then Ghana enjoys the glory that it deserves. Kindly subscribe to the channel. This is Jibril Authentic Plus TV. Share the video, leave your comment, and then for discussion in the comment section, I need your sharing and likes. Thank you.